morning and welcome to News Hour. Coming up in this edition, the Christian Thanksgiving service organized at State House to mark Sierra Leone's 58th independence anniversary. The victim in the ongoing preliminary investigation, attempted murder, matter at Guard State, cross-examined at Magistrates Court No. 1. And President Bio awards over 60 nationals and non-nationals on the country's 58th independence anniversary. All the stories and more line up in this edition of News with me, Mariam Suna. Welcome again, and if you just joined us, you're watching News Hour from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation with me, Mariam Suma. A Christian Thanksgiving service has been organized to mark the 58th independence anniversary of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The service, which took place at State House, saw citizens from all walks of life and clergy from various denominations with prayers for national cohesion. How Moseri was there, and she now reports.
The special service is to foster peace and national cohesion that is largely required prosperity. In his address, President of the Pentecostal Fellowship Sierra Leone, Bishop ARCHIBALD, called on citizens to reflect on factors that led to the civil conflict. He called on state authorities to address issues of injustice, lawlessness, and uphold rule of law. Bishop Cole told the congregation that blessed is a nation who puts God at the center of its activities, pointing out that the new direction should be guided by divine direction.
If we have done a reflection and if we have come to our realization, then there must be a revisitation of our ideals. Just look at it. So what do we do? First, there has to be a divine direction. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. That means God has to give, Sir, Your Excellency, before the new direction, there must be a divine direction.
Amen.
If the new direction is subjected and submitted to a divine direction, victory is our portion.
Amen.
Victory is our portion.
Amen.
Breakthrough will be our portion.
Amen.
Our country will be named amongst the best in the nation. In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
If the new direction can be subject to divine direction, there will be success. For blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom God has chosen for his own inheritance.
Hallelujah.
And if Sierra Leone will make God her Lord, then we will all be able to say, blessings and peace be ever thine own, land that we love, our Sierra Leone.
President Bio commended the men of God for organizing such service to seek the divine intervention. He said he believes in Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leoneans can be the change they are yearning for. Even though there are challenges faced by his administration, he is committed to deliver to the expectation of the people.
When you look at the magnitude, the enormity of the challenges, some of the perennial problems we have, older than some of us as a matter of fact, but we still have to surmount them, and I'm never afraid to challenge them. I also, but in that fight, we need to encourage and inspire every Sierra Leonean. Don't give up.
Amen.
Don't give up.
Amen.
Help is on the way.
Amen.
But we have to play our part. And as human beings, we are limited. It is only with divine direction, guidance, that we will succeed. As God has ordained and decreed that I lead, I take this moment to commit this whole nation to the hands of God. For me, I am here as his choice, not by my might, not by my wisdom. Therefore, as his appointed leader for this nation, I want to use this opportunity to again commit this nation to him, to continue to guide us, to unite us, and to continue to also provide the sort of wisdom that is necessary at all levels for our government, so that we can provide good governance, and we can care, and we can be compassionate. All of these are acts through Jesus Christ.
The country President Bill stated went through difficult times as a result of injustice, tribalism, and corruption. But his government has put strategies in place to wage war on corruption that he described as a threat to human security. He called on Sierra Leoneans to contribute to the developmental strides of the nation to regain past glory. Prayers were offered by the clergy of divine guidance. SABC TV News are in Freetown. Hawamosiwe reporting.
The victim in the ongoing preliminary investigation, attempted murder matter at Magistrate Court Number 1, has been cross-examined by the defense counsels based on his testimonies in court. By Kuruma, a mobile phone seller, was allegedly tortured and maliciously wounded by a Pakistani and 2 Sierra Leoneans on Sunday, 17th March 2019 at Guard Street, when he was called by the first accused, Pankaj Kumar Panchal, on the pretext of buying phones from him. Aminash Nyade Brema reports.
Witness 1. The victim by Kuruma recognized the 3 accused, Pankaj Kumar Panchal, Mohamed Kamara and Usman Kamara. He recalled Saturday 16th March 2019 when the first accused, Pankaj Kumar Panchal, requested to buy 50 million leones worth of mobile phones and told him to meet him at his residence with the items. He further recalled that on Sunday, 17th March 2019, he went to the residence of the first accused at 20 Guard Street, and that after he had entered the house, the first accused closed the first gate with a padlock and also closed the other 2, and he became afraid. Kuruma said he was trying to remove the mobile phones when he heard footsteps behind him. He turned and saw the second accused, who hit him on his back with a hammer. Explaining further, he said he was struggling with the second accused when the third accused came with a knife and wanted to stab him, but he grabbed the knife with his hand and the second accused hit him again. According to the victim, he felt pain and was crying when the first accused, Pankaj Kumar Panchal, told him he wanted his tongue and blood and took the knife and tore his mouth, which made him bleed seriously. He shouted for help and also stamped his foot heavily on the floor to attract the tenants on the 4th floor to come to his rescue. The first accused instructed the third accused to take away his 20 assorted mobile phones worth 50 million leones and his 6 million leones he had in his bag. The witness by Kuruma reiterated that later an elderly man at the 4th floor came to his rescue. The witness was cross-examined by lawyers for the 3 accused. The 3 accused are in court for 6 counts of conspiracy to commit a felony, robbery with aggravation, attempted murder, wounding with intent, forceful imprisonment, among others. Assistant Superintendent of Police Ibrahim Mansare is prosecuting the matter, while lawyer Al Gidwani and Samuel Valcasel are representing the 3 accused. Magistrate Anna Boni remanded the 3 accused in custody and adjourned the matter to Friday, 3rd of May this year. SLBC News, Aminash Nyande Brahma.
Meti House has taken first position in the Vimetco's 2019 Independent Sporting Competition at the Mokonji Field, Moyemba District. Every year, Vimetco organizes sporting competition as part of its independence celebration. Francis and Danema filing this report, read in the studios by Princess Gibson.
Five houses participated in this year's sporting event. Niti House, which represents blue, took the first position, followed by Wonde House, representing white. Gondama House, representing red, took the third position. Konta House, representing yellow, clinched the fourth position, whilst Bonji House, representing green, came fifth. The sport meet was full of fun as it marks the country's 58th independence anniversary. The Human Resource and Corporate Affairs Director, Alusine Conte, threw more light on the essence of organizing the sport every year.
As a company, it's part of our culture to celebrate the Independence Day by way of organizing an inter-house sports competition for our employees and our contractors. So today we witnessed this event. Last year we witnessed it, we organized it in one of our mining communities. Today we decided to come to Mokanji because Mokanji has been an historical location for this company in the 1950s to 1960s. So today we decided to come to Mokanji to celebrate with the community and also to celebrate the independence with our employees.
Acting Manager Vimetco, Basuda Data, appreciated the community people for coming out to witness the sports meet. He said his company will soon start producing aluminium in Sierra Leone, which can create more jobs for the people.
We have signed the Memorandum of Understanding and the mandate letter with the financial institution of the nation in the presence of Excellency Honorable President on 4th of April in State House about the installation of aluminum hydrate plant. So I once again want to congratulate all of us. So we need little bit of time to start the production because we have to bring a big plant. It is a big construction, big investment. It will take close to 26 to 28 months to construct this plant. So we intend to commence this production middle of 2022.
Other speakers there in the ceremony thanked Vimetco for organizing such events every year. The event also brings together young people and makes the town lively.
Over 60 citizens and non-citizens have been awarded by President Bio for outstanding contributions to the country. Some awardees who spoke to the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation said they were happy to be recognized for their contributions. The awardees were part of the country's 58th independence anniversary. We bring you highlights of the event which took place at State House.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Lordship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Desmond Mbaslu Edwards. Dr. KROOBAY, you have been recognized as a commander of the Order of the Rokel. Michael, Sarah. ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Prima Singh.
I am Lieutenant General Ibrahim Asise. I am the Chief of Defense Staff, and I'm highly elated today because of this award that I've achieved. His Excellency the President. It actually shows that good work is recognized. When you work hard, you work well, you will be recognized. And that is what has been done exactly to me. Myself and my family were completely happy today. It has given me more life to work, honestly.
I am Major General David Talu, the Deputy Chief of Defense Staff of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces. Well, you must have heard when they were doing my citation about my role, especially in the war in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Sudan, and all over. I have represented Sierra Leone in most peacekeeping missions in Africa, to say the least, apart from the war in Sierra Leone. Because of my training, I'm expert in jungle operations and urban operations.
In short, I feel great. I feel elated. I feel like the best teacher ever alive. I feel so great and honor has been bestowed upon me for what I did in the line of duty, not realizing it was good for me and for my future. Today's ceremony and this award in particular has crowned all accolades I received in the past, more especially from people of the whole school. I'm most grateful to His Excellency the President, Julius Maada Bio, and all his staff who together put this idea together to think of an old man all the way in Bo to come and be honored in this great manner. I'm humbled by it, I must say.
It's great because some of us small people, we do a little thing in the corner, nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody describe this as a small person. Oh, well, it's a small business I run and I try to encourage people with small business. Trying to develop themselves. So that's where my focus is. And unless you do big things and make a lot of noise, people don't realize what you're doing. That's why I said about some of us small people, we're in a little corner. And we just try to encourage people because I believe passionately that business promotes Sierra Leone and will make Sierra Leone grow. And we can only start from the bottom up. So small businesses, try to encourage them, give them as much support as they need. They'll develop, they'll become 2 people. Businesses, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, that's how they develop. And as long as they develop, they employ people in certain areas.
Daniela Beckley, I'm the chair of the Teaching Service Commission. I feel very happy. I feel very humbled because this government has been only a year in office and they have recognized my service. I have always been passionate about serving, even without expecting any. Because what drives me is the anticipation of good results. I work for results. I work for outcomes. And it makes me very happy when I deliver, I achieve, I see good things happening for teachers, for children. We're not there yet, but I hope that we will be there as early as possible. We don't have time, we're running against time. Teachers have to feel happy that they're in the profession, and the profession itself has to be recognized as a worthy profession.
My name is Dr. Sandra Leco. I currently work at the Aberdeen Women's Centre, and previously I worked with Well Body Partnership at the Children's Hospital. It is a great honour to receive this award from His Excellency today. It is a privilege to be able to work in Sierra Leone and to serve the women and children in this nation. I am very grateful for this recognition on this Independence Day. Thank you.
First Lady Fatima Bio has called on Sierra Leoneans to be loyal to the country and not individuals. She was speaking at an event to mark the 58th independence anniversary of the Sierra Leone at the National Stadium. The event saw the rolling of over 1,700 feet length of the national flag. Princess Gibson was there. Machina report.
The rolling of the 1,706 feet length of the national flag by over 1,000 personnel demonstrates unity in strength. It is in a similar vein that the First Lady Fatima Bio called on Sierra Leoneans to give their loyalty to their country.
Our loyalty should lie not to an individual but to our nation. We should be able to love our nation more than we love ourselves. We should put our country first at all times. And that's the reason why we're here today. I want to say thank you for honoring our invitation.
She described the event as a commemoration in line with the 20% achievement of the National Gross Domestic Product pronouncement by the President. There is a debate mostly among Sierra Leoneans on whether independence anniversaries call for celebrations. The 58th independence anniversary, according to the Chief Minister, Professor David Francis, requires the recognition of strides so far by the new administration.
58 years of independence, what have we got to show for? His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, has given a unique gift to this country, this great country. That is the free, quality education. With this gift, I have no doubt that Sierra Leone will rise again. And with this gift, I have no doubt that Sierra Leone will again be the heartland of West Africa. I have no doubt that with this free quality education gift, that this country will conquer poverty and emerge as a middle-income country. I have no doubt that under the inspiring leadership of His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier General Madonna's will we end corruption in this country. And I have no doubt that under the inspiring leadership of His Excellency the President, this new direction administration will change and transform Sierra Leone.
He said independence anniversary are going to be observed on a low key until the nation pays its bills.
The message is very clear. We will not celebrate independence. We will only commemorate independence. We will only do so when we are able to
Chief Minister thanked Sierra Leoneans for the turnout to the National Stadium as a display of patriotism. March past and musical performances formed part of the ceremony. SNBC News.
If you just joined us, you're watching News Hour from the LEONE Broadcasting Corporation with me, Mariam Suma. The Progressive Youth Organization has concluded a 3-day training course on leadership for over 20 young girls. The training session on the theme, Female Gender is not a limitation, but an advantage, is to prepare young girls to take over leadership positions. The event took place at the Scripture Union Hall, Pademba Road, Freetown. Joseph Ture witnessed the training and he now reports.
Empowering young girls for leadership positions is timely for the fulfillment of the Sustainable Development Goals 16 for an inclusive society. The 3-day session looks at how young girls could deviate from stereotype views that often prevent them from realizing their potentials in society. Keynote speaker Kamarel Kamara said, society should not define their destiny and they should do their best to serve as change agents. She told the girls to always inculcate positive thoughts and be self-confident in all spheres of life. Other speakers include models in society who encouraged the girls to aim high and not to be complacent with what they have achieved so far. Some of the participants underscored the importance of the training and promised to share the ideas gained from the session.
We are here on leadership how we should use yourself up in society and how we should live in society to know that there is no gender inequality as that of gender equality. So actually I learned that we should put our perception or superstition thinking that what a man can do, a woman cannot do. If a man can be president, a woman can be president. If a man can be a minister or a pilot or an engineer, a woman can be that too. So I think these are some of the things that we learned here.
I've learned to be a good leader. I was not a good leader back then. But after this training organized by KROOBAY, I've learned to be a good leader in society and moreover to empower girls. I can say that now I feel like
The award of certificate of participation climaxed the event. Joseph Ture, Freetown.
Sierra Leone and Guinea have agreed to establish a permanent joint commission. The decision was reached after a series of engagements held in Guinea-Conakry between the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Sierra Leone, Dr. Ali Kaba, and the President of Guinea, Professor Alpha Condé. The Minister of Foreign Affairs was in Guinea on a 2-day visit to address the impasse at Iyenga. Rose Colima Stevens report.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Ali Kaba, extended felicitations from President Julius Maada Bio, whom he indicated considered the planned event in Guinea as laudable to further strengthen the already existing ties between both countries. He noted that the new direction administration is determined to ensure that the historically warm and friendly ties continue to flourish between the countries and their people. Dr. Ali Kaba, however, reiterated that to further strengthen the family ties and bonds, concerns about reports of land and maritime encroachments at points along the Sierra Leone-Guinea border are to be resolved, stressing the pre-existing impasse of Yenga, and delivered a letter from President Julius Maada Bio to President Alpha Condé in which the said concerns were outlined. Dr. Kaba acknowledged the relationship between the two countries, which he said runs very deep, noting that it is firm with ethnic, religious, social, economic connections, thereby the need to take concrete actions through increased sensitization, coexistence, and address border disputes, as well as engage in economic ties for mutual benefits. Both parties agreed to establish a permanent joint commission of cooperation, which will serve as a sustained framework to deepen mutually beneficial economic ties and also provide a vehicle to address problems within the context of a special relationship and proximity between the two countries. The minister raised concerns about the premature seizure of a Sierra Leone-operated fishing boat and the subsequent levying of a substantive punitive fine on the part of Guinean officials. To enhance the free flow of movements and greater people-to-people exchanges, Dr. Ali Kaba also disclosed government's commitment in ensuring free movement of the respective government buses across both countries and agreed that action be taken to ensure their smooth operations. President Alpha Condé noted the significance of peace and stability within countries and that leadership should work hard to sustain both countries for the good of their citizens. He called on Sierra Leone and other countries in the Mano River Union to work together to deepen and strengthen the ties in the region and the African continent in general, including support to the establishment of a sub-regional airline. Dr. Ali Kaba extended an open invitation to the Guinean authorities to visit Sierra Leone so that the Permanent Joint Commission could be launched as a matter of urgency, as was agreed by both parties. For SLBC News, Rose Konima Stevens reporting.
The Sierra Leone News Agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information and Communications, has officially launched the Sierra Leone News newspaper. The launching, which was done by the Minister of State, Office of the Vice President, Frances Algali, was to ensure accurate, timely and reliable information of government programs and other developmental issues. Joseph Turin filing this report.
Having an effective print outlet news agency for the dissemination of government policies and other developmental issues has been one of the challenges limiting the flow of news from one place to the other. Rebranding of SLENA is a step to improving journalism in the country. The focus of the launch of the Sierra News newspaper by SLENA and the Ministry of Information was to get a balanced flow of accurate, timely and reliable news. Minister of State, Office of the Vice President, Frances Algali, in launching the newspaper, noted professionalism is expected in disseminating correct information that will represent the socio-economic values of the country.
But on behalf of the Honorable Vice President and the government of Sierra Leone, it is my privilege and honor to give you Sierra News.
Minister of Information, Mohamed Ramanswari, pledged government's commitment to supporting SLENA and urged them not to engage in unprofessional conduct.
I will be very pleased to see you desist from reporting party politics here, except it's so much. This is not an outlet to report party politics. I mean, political parties have their own papers, and I know those outlets are more than competent enough to report the activities of those parties. This is a government newspaper. We will expect you, as much as possible, to report on the achievements of government, on the activities of government, and be those foot soldiers that will ensure that government business is taken to every nook and cranny of the country using existing or emerging infrastructure that this institution will put in place.
He added that they are working assiduously to repealing the criminal libel law. Other speakers, including IMC Chairman A representative from the Parliamentary Committee on Information and Communications told media practitioners to do their best in executing their duties and to cooperate with existing institutions that regulate the media. Representatives from specialized agencies of the UN, including UNESCO and UNDP, pledged their unrelenting support to SLENA's development. Joseph Toure, Freetown.
BOLLORE Transport and Logistics has updated the media on its port expansion at the Queen Elizabeth II. BOLLORE entered into an agreement with the government of Sierra Leone to expand the port, operate in it, and later return it to the government. Asmiba report.
Sierra Leone is known to have one of the best harbors in Africa, but its size has been a key challenge, the reason it has not been attracting many bigger ships. This port expansion has now made the port to attract more ships and a space to keep huge cargo of containers. It has also increased the volume of containers that a ship discharges per hour. It is a surprise to many that this company has been in Sierra Leone since 1965. Country Manager, BOLLORE Transport Logistics, Captain Fabanjko Kokan, told newsmen that BOLLORE operates in 104 countries and 45 of those countries are in Africa. Captain Kokan spoke of their mega projects in Ivory Coast and Ghana and their port expansion in Sierra Leone, which began in 2016. The Sierra Leone port expansion, according to Captain Kokan, cost the company $121 million United States dollars.
No one company can be successful without people. One of our main target was always to increase the human capital.
Human Resource Manager, BOLLORE Transport and Logistics, Chlorina Morgan, said the company has 402 staff, many of whom have undergone trainings overseas. On the issue of capacitating locals to take over from expatriates, Madam Morgan said the company had 13 expatriates, but gradually they have been phased out, leaving only 5. Communications Officer Gassimu Fofana said the company has embarked on tangible community development projects that have helped the surrounding communities. Their interventions, according to Mr. Fofana, range from scholarships to the building of community center at Moaf and the rehabilitation of the Ross Road police station, among others. On the conducted tour of the extended ports, journalists were shown some of the newly installed ship-to-shore cranes, which have made work easier and faster.
Well, I'm standing on top of one of the ship-to-shore cranes. They have 2 of these cranes here. The height of this one is more than 100 meters long. That's where I'm standing on top of it now. I can also tell you that more than half of this is also on top of me. This is one of the newly installed cranes that BOLLORE has installed to ensure that clearing of containers from the ports becomes easier. According to the information I have gathered, this crane discharges 45 containers per hour. The target for 2019 is going to be 50 containers per hour. Once that is reached, it's going to ensure that the issue of clearing containers from the port becomes easier for business people.
According to the container terminal manager Abubakar Sise, the new facilities have improved the operations of the port. He said the current space can accommodate 3,780 containers. For now, according to him, they are discharging 42 containers per hour, and their target is 50 by the end of 2019. As the country is gradually opening up for business, the key infrastructure in Sierra Leone is to attract more foreign direct investments. BOLLORE is going to be in charge of this facility for the next plus 20 years, while government is having 20% shares of the company's investment. For SLBC News, Asmiuba.
Member of Parliament of the Opposition All People's Congress, headed by the leader, Honorable Chernoba, have provided relief items to victims of the fire disaster at KROOBAY community. Assorted items were given to the victims. The move was a show of solidarity to the fire victims. Ibrahim Samura reports.
KROOBAY is one of the slum communities in the municipality, which has suffered several shocks and disasters ranging from flooding, rising sea level and fire outbreaks. Just few weeks ago, the KROOBAY community was again engulfed by another fire disaster, leaving properties worth hundreds of millions of leones destroyed. Since the fire outbreak, this is the fourth time the opposition APC has rendered a helping hand to these fire victims. The relief items were provided by APC MPs. Leader of the APC party in Parliament, Honorable Chernoba, said the gesture was to show the party's solidarity to the fire victims. Honorable Chernoba consoled the victims, noting that just after the incident, the party visited the community and donated learning materials to the children, also citing donations by the Stay Red movement and the national executive of the APC party. Honorable Ba admonished parents to send their children to school, especially the girl child, and take advantage of the free quality education scheme.
Today we went as APC caucus. We went there as a caucus, and the reasons are very simple. One is to continue to confirm that we sympathize and have the same feeling that others should have for those who are vulnerable. But secondly also, the holidays are around. The Easter holiday has just passed, the independence is coming up, so we thought it wise that it would be good for us to send food items for these people so that they will have something to share whilst the holiday period is on.
Other members of parliament, including Honorable Alusen Alukonte of Constituency 125, said they wanted to show love and to help ease the sufferings of the people. The lawmakers assured the victims of APC's support at all times. Beneficiaries appreciated the APC parliamentarians for always thinking of them, especially at a difficult time. According to them, the relief items came at the most needed time, especially on the eve of the independence celebration. The parliamentarians were taken on a conducted tour of the burnt houses. Many of these houses have been rebuilt by humanitarian aid. Ibrahim Samora, Freetown.
The PKF Missing Hill Sierra Leone has held a session to discuss issues of economic empowerment of women on the theme Margin of the Minds, Leadership and Influence Through Economic Empowerment. The forum, which was held at the Hub Hotel Wilberforce, brought together influential women from the political and socio-economic fields. The platform was also meant to motivate other young women to do more. Joseph Toure filing this report.
Women constitute 52% of the country's population according to 2015 census, though some significant results have been achieved in women attaining senior positions in governance, yet the area of economic independence has been a challenge. This platform was an opportunity to these women to share their experiences on various fields including business, politics and other related spheres. They noted women should be ready to fit themselves to compete with men in their workplace and business. Various speakers also identified that they need to engage in continuous learning to upgrade themselves to the contemporary trend. Numbers they registered should not override quality, as that will make the difference wherever they find themselves. They called women present to support one another, as that, they stressed, has limited them over the years. Madonna THOMPSON is the coordinator of PKF Missing Hill Sierra Leone. She underscored the importance of the program.
We're moving from the challenges now into solutions. We don't even want to hear about the challenges. We're just getting together, doing a roadmap from this, putting action plan together and actually taking action, and not only reaching out to the urban areas as well, but also to the rural as well, because as has been said by some of the panelists and some of the guests, is that there are also a lot of economic empowerment that needs to be done with young women and girls also in the rural areas as well.
The ultimate concern is to see these fantastic ideas being put into action. Joseph Toure, SLBC, Freetown.
famous Nigerian gospel musician Uche Agu is in the country. He is here to grace the Elevated Praise 2019, which is scheduled to take place at Golden Tulip Hotel. Other gospel musicians are expected to feature in the event. Our reporter Amara Sumaila was at the Freetown International Airport and filed in this report, read in the studios by Soriba.
To unite the global church through worship and music, and to reach millions globally as he's successfully done in Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean. He infused his musical brand with the vibrant sounds of techno, rock, reggae, Latin, and traditional gospel sound with the roots of raw African rhythm. Uche Agu garnered fame in the Africa diaspora as the soloist on the South African Musical Assembly Joyous Celebrations contagiously popular hit, My God is Good. With well over 3 million views on YouTube since its release in 2009, he has cultivated audiences and the headline performer for over 70,000 on tour throughout the continent. His popularity led him to perform for some of the largest congregations and audiences throughout the USA, Caribbean islands, United Kingdom, Amsterdam, Italy, and Germany. Mr. Uche Agu said he has motivated several gospel musicians across the globe, and he is in Sierra Leone to praise God and to share knowledge with Sierra Leonean gospel musicians.
I'll be singing with my brother Joseph also. The team is coming from Nigeria. It's going to be a great time of praise and worship and collaboration between, Nigeria and Sierra Leone, and also putting Sierra Leone on the map of the world. When I put it on social media, I'm coming to Sierra Leone, people are like, wow, you're going to Sierra Leone, wow, when it is going to happen. People were excited. Even on the plane, people were excited that we're coming here to be a part of what my brother Joseph is doing.
The manager of Elevated Praise, Elvino de Souza George, remitted that the show will bring a turnaround in the gospel music industry in Sierra Leone.
And now for African news. People in Benin voting for a new parliament, but without a single opposition candidate taking part. The electoral authorities ruled last month that only two parties, both loyal to President Patrice Talon, met the requirement to take part. New electoral laws mean a party had to pay about $424,000, 328,000 euros, to file a list for the 83 seats of parliament. Internet access has been restricted, with social media and messaging apps blocked in the West African nation. 5 million people are registered to vote in the country, known as one of Africa's most stable democracies. Kenya's Eliud Kipchoge ran the second fastest marathon in history to win the London Marathon for a fourth time, as Britain's Mo Farah finished fifth. Kipchoge, 34, who broke the world record in Berlin last year, triumphed in 2 hours, 2 minutes, 38 seconds. Farah finished 3 minutes, 1 second behind Kipchoge, while fellow Briton Callum Hawkins was 10th. Kenya's Brigid Kosgei, 25, became the youngest female London winner, with Britain's Charlotte Purdue 10th. Ethiopia's Mosinet Jeremiah and Mulwasihu finished second and third respectively behind Kipchoge, who finished 59 seconds shy of his world record of 2:39. 2 senior employees of the oil company Shell have been kidnapped and their police escort killed in Nigeria's Rivers Delta region. The attack took place as the workers were returning from a business trip on Thursday on a road in Rivers State. Gunmen killed the guards, one of whom was driving the vehicle, and seized the 2 workers. A police spokesman said efforts were underway to rescue the Shell employees. Their names and nationalities have not been released. Well, that's all for entertainment news this morning, and now beg your pardon for African news, and now for entertainment. On the 27th of April 1961, Sierra Leone became an independent nation. In terms of entertainment, the country has produced numerous talented people in drama, modeling, poetry, dancing, traditional performances, and singing. Our entertainment reporters, Millicent Lungi and Marilyn Samo, went around the city asking people on what the country has benefited so far in terms of entertainment. Compiled by Mohamed Kane Milan London.
On the 27th of April 1961, Sierra Leone became an independent nation. As the country celebrates its 58th independence anniversary, one will want to wonder what the country has benefited so far in the past 58 years in terms of infrastructure, business, tourism, culture, and entertainment. In terms of entertainment, the country has produced numerous talented people in drama, modeling, poetry, dancing, traditional performances, and singing. The National Dance Troupe for one has achieved accolades for the country internationally. Drama groups like Tabule, Ronco, and Kailondo Theatre had done a lot in expressing their skills on stage performances. Writers and composers like the late Clifford Nelson File and John Hakar did their best, especially in writing and composing the national anthem. Also, the late physical challenge composer Samuel Campbell, former headmaster of the Miltimagai School for the Blind, composed the national pledge, which helps to remind citizens to be law-abiding and exercise love for our beloved country.
Go and come tomorrow night.
Musicians like the late Ebenezer Calendar, Big Fire, S.E. Roji, Salia Kuruma, to name but a few, did their best in creating space for musicians like Jimmy B, Steady Bongo, Emerson, and more to follow their footsteps in order to boost up the entertainment industry. As the country is now 58 years old after independence, one will want to ask, has the country achieved any accolade in the entertainment industry? This was the question posed to some citizens to give their views on how the entertainment industry is now in the country after 58 years of independence.
Anyway, currently we haven't seen much. Look at music, I say, it's a lot of evil big messages. I mean, either to the government, to the common people, about things are going on. Also good.
I see that the entertainment industry is trying to pick up. We just finished the Housemate, and they have other programs they want to come up with. They're trying. It's slowly beginning to pick up.
The industry of musical or entertainment is concerned, we have moved and little forward. We are far back. When you compare us to Ghana, Nigeria, and the other countries, we are way back.
I think the industry is doing really good, especially for the past 1 or 2 years. I can see some amount of improvement. Like I think we had this Big Sister show, and we have this Housemate. I'm seeing a few new artists coming up. I'm seeing movies. I'm seeing comedians doing their shows. I think we had one a few weeks ago. Kindo Amani a few days ago. We had Richie Obama. And I can see a lot of potential in the industry. And I believe with this improvement that we see, I can see a lot of prospects, and I believe in the next few years we'll get to the peak in which we all want to see.
Well, the entertainment industry have grown very, very much, and see, we have more stand-up comedians, not only those that do that joke thing. Now we have people that do properly and still do proper comedy. We also compliment those who are doing the joke thing.
And that's it. Many thanks to Mohamed Kinmilan for putting that report together. And now to end the news, the main point again. A Christian Thanksgiving service has been organized at State House to mark the 58th independence anniversary. The victim in the ongoing preliminary investigation attempted murder matter at Gad Street has been cross-examined at Magistrate Court Number 1. And President Bio has awarded over 60 nationals and non-nationals on the country's 58th independence anniversary. That's all for News Hour this morning. I've been your host, Maria Musuma. Thanks for watching. Do continue to stay with us.